Hello out there. This is Nichole Kathryn Smith, photographer, fine artist, and intuitive from Nichole Kathryn Studios. Join me as I highlight incredible stories of amazing women who've turned a simple spark into a life-changing passion. Dive into conversations about creativity, purpose, and intuition, and discover how these extraordinary women use their gifts to empower and inspire. So let's get into it. The She Spark podcast starts now. Hello out there. This is Nichole Kathryn from the She Spark, and we have special guest today, Jody Chandler. Hello, Jody.
Hello. So nice to see you. It's been so long.
I know. It's been so long.
I think it's been like 10 plus years.
Wow.
I was a different person before.
You're the same person on the inside.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
And just as beautiful now as you were then.
And you're just as sweet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For those of you out there that don't know Jody or what she does, she started a company called Delicious Deficit. And the name is brilliant. But let's tell our listeners and viewers what inspired you to create this company.
So Delicious Deficit really originated as an Instagram page. Back in 2015, I weighed 330 pounds and had a lot of chaos with food. And my whole Instagram page is really just a record of my failures and successes. The first post is me, as most women do, take the before and after photo, and it was for a 90-day challenge at a gym to see how to lose or how much we can lose in 90 days, which is already a bad idea. But I didn't know that at the time.
Sure.
We started with the gym and losing 90 pounds through excessive cardio and low calories and clean eating. And I ended up losing 30 pounds the first 30 days and sputtered out after that. Skip ahead to 2016 and I'm getting weight loss surgery. Skip ahead to 2019, I had gained 40 pounds of the 80 that I had lost on weight loss surgery. So it really is, Delicious Deficit is a culmination of all of those experiences, failures, but skip to now, and I have turned it into a weight loss program, really being the coach I needed at 330 pounds. So I do one-on-one coaching, really focusing on having a better relationship with food, teaching women how to have a better relationship with food and how to lose weight and not be miserable, how to eat your foods that you enjoy and that you love, and really habit-focused weight loss and changing your life for better and leaving the chaos behind and seeking peace through food. Yeah.
What did your journey to health and self-trust look like before Delicious Deficit?
I think chaos. You don't get to 330 pounds with having a good relationship with food. So I think similar to most women in the sense that I binged and I restricted. So what I would do is I would find a diet, whatever diet, you name it.
Right.
I've done it. I could create a list and your listeners would be, yeah, tried that. And what would happen is because I was so overweight and these diets have such small amounts of calories, I would have to, by the end of the week, just binge because I didn't have enough energy, enough food. And so what happens when your body doesn't get enough energy, your ghrelin, which is a hormone in your stomach, increases and your leptin decreases. So my body was naturally trying to save me from starvation, essentially.
Yeah.
And so by Friday, I'm eating everything. And then Monday, I'm recommitting. And then Friday, I'm eating it. So I essentially binged and restricted my way to 330 pounds. So before Delicious Deficit, just like similar to every woman, I was seeking out a solution every Monday. And eventually in 2019, I remember standing in my bathroom and thinking, of another solution after I had failed in weight loss surgery. I literally changed the anatomy of my body and I still couldn't make it. So I just said, you got to figure this out. And I remember there was the solution of you could swallow a balloon. And it was another just really destructive solution that but then I was like, you have to figure this out. And all I really wanted, and I literally Googled it, how to eat like a normal person. I just wanted to be normal. So I found a calorie deficit. What is a calorie deficit? And I really started seeking answers in science and started asking, why do I binge? Why am I so out of control over food? And all of those answers really brought me to today. And I'm still seeking those solutions. I'm not 100% like any person who has a relationship. You're always trying to get better and more positive in that relationship. And so I am continuing to do that every day.
It's a daily commitment.
It really is.
It's a lifestyle, right?
It's a lifestyle.
And it's all of us have done that where you restrict, oh, I've got a big event coming up. You restrict,
yes.
and then you binge afterwards. And you're not even thinking about it. It just
Well,
is.
I
Your
think that
body is telling you that it needs food. And correct me if I'm wrong. I've heard somewhere where when we starve ourselves, then our bodies actually eat our muscle.
your body, those calories, that's how you lose weight, right? You're getting it from stored calories. It takes energy to maintain muscle.
Right.
You're to build the muscle, to maintain the muscle. So yes, you start losing muscle mass, and especially as the years go on. And that's why you see older women having a hard time losing weight, is because they're missing muscle mass.
Right.
And the older you get, the more muscle you're losing, and eventually you get scarpenia, and then you're in real big trouble.
And that's the bone
Yeah.
density issue.
Yeah.
And I'm postmenopausal. I'm 53, and it's something that is real. Like I have been doing Pilates for years, and I was doing weight training years before that. I recently went back to integrating weight training into my Pilates routine because of that.
And do you feel a difference?
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
My balance is getting better. I don't even know what happened in between that time and my trainer from several years ago is working with me, and I've never seen you like this. You're in good shape, but my back was hurting. I pulled something in Pilates, my knees, my balance, like everything was off. And now I'm feeling more grounded. Like I don't know how else to explain that.
You just you're supporting your skeleton. You're supporting your body with strength and getting stronger.
Yeah.
Being able to, even things like getting out of the bathtub. There are people who really struggle with that. And carrying in your groceries, all these functional things that, and that is a good segue to what it is behind all of these habits. Why are we doing that? It's different when you're older.
Oh, yeah.
The why is very different. So I can play with my grandkids, so I can go to the store. For me, I see someone who is having trouble walking. That's my why. Like that is my biggest fear is not being able to take care of myself physically. And that's why I go to the gym, really. I love the shape of it and feeling athletic and being athletic. But I wake up every day. I don't have pain. I remember when I went to IKEA, at 300 pounds, I would have to rest the rest of the day. I can be on my feet for hours and hours. There's never a scenario where I'm pre-gaming it. Like I'm hoping or wondering if I'm going to last the day. So that is one of the biggest reasons to start lifting weights.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the ultimate reward, right?
Yes.
And then the secondary reward is having amazing body and shoulders and all. I have shoulder envy over here.
I know, you can do it. You knew me when I didn't have shoulders then.
I know, but
Nicole's shoulders are loading. Yeah, a year from now, you better check up on her. Yeah, you got it though. Yeah.
So you talk about the shifts. Looking back, what do you think it was? And even now, because it's always something that all of us struggle with on a daily basis, there's always a little something like, oh, if I have a sweet tooth, or if I love my French dip sandwiches, it doesn't even matter what it is. It's everything in the right amount. Right?
Yes.
What was it for you that has shifted in your mindset? What do you think was happening before with the food versus now? Even though there will always be, it will always be a lifestyle, and you will always have to be mindful. But do you feel like it was circumstantial and a love for food, or like one or the other, or if it was emotional, anything that you were like working through? Have you noticed things coming through on this journey that you have kind of shed layers, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, that helped you get to this place?
I think anyone who's 330 pounds has to think of how this happened. So I have really, and it is complicated. It's so many different things.
Right.
So when I think back, I was a latchkey kid. I had a lot of babysitters. I was brought up by a single father. I remember being hungry a lot. So I was always seeking food. Which made me bigger than maybe my sister, who's thinner than me. I was athletic built in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s, and there was no J-Lo, there was no Kim Kardashian, there was no big booty Judy like that we want now,
Right.
that I want at least. I'm building that booty. There was Kate Moss and things like that, and I was not Kate Moss. I was athletic because I ate the food and I did the exercise. I was muscle. I had muscle. So my parents restricted my food. I had diet ice cream. My sister did not. But at the same time, they grew up in a time of clean your plate, right?
Yep.
So now I don't have hunger cues.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't have hunger cues. And that is just something that they got brought up through I think it was World War II or something like that.
Depression.
And the Depression, exactly. So now I'm cleaning my plate and I don't have hunger cues, okay? And now I'm 17, 18 years old, and the diet culture. So it's just like this horrible storm. Eventually, I am become a binge eater. So binge eater it's habitual. It starts with a cue. So the cue for me is stress, is anxiety. And what happens is I get the cue and my body reacts. I feel it in my shoulders. I feel it in my chest. And then there is the routine. So my routine is to seek out the food or go to the drive-through. And then the reward is the relief. It's not the food.
Right.
So I feel a sense of relief, and it's also about dopamine. But what you have to understand about dopamine is that dopamine doesn't come from the food. It comes from the fact that I created a narrative around the food,
Right.
and created a habit. So now I have the binge eating thing. So what I had to do is I had to get rid of or change the cue, or not change the cue, because let's be honest, it's very difficult. Have you been out there? The human condition is rough, right? Like, I'm probably always going to have anxiety. I'm probably always going to interact with my environment, not poorly, and I can better and better the more skill sets I have, but
Right.
there's going to be hard times.
Right.
So I can change the routine and I can change the reward. So what I do is, if I still get urges, and what I do is I take out my phone and I write. What your brain does is, there's a lot of talk right now about food noise. I don't know if you've ever heard that term.
No.
So people get food noise. So it's a constant barrage of, you need to eat now, and it's really just a dysregulated nervous system. That's really what it is. So I get those barrages of food thinking I need, okay, it's 3 cinnamon rolls. So I'll write down, or type up 3 cinnamon rolls. I'll type up nachos. And it sounds really strange, but my brain doesn't know the difference between if I'm eating it and experiencing it. So the urge just dissipates. So that is my solution to my urges, and it's been working really well for me. I always say I'm the hardest client that I have.
Of course. Always.
And I also say my test is my testament, because every time I'm tested by anything in my environment, whether having to lose weight or finding peace with food, I'm able to take that on to my clients and find solutions for them, and have done that.
Stay tuned for more of this conversation. We will be right back after this important offering. Have you been feeling lost, like the spark you once had has dimmed? Are you longing to reconnect with a loved one who has passed? Do you have a deep desire to move forward but don't know how? My intuitive readings offer guidance, healing, and insight to help you find your way again. Choose a 30 or 60-minute session, virtual or in person. Let's uncover the answers together. Visit NicholeKathrynStudios.com or DM me on Instagram to book your session today. That's amazing. And I think that's what makes you good at what you do. You are living what you're teaching. And it's a constant, is a lifestyle, and it's something that you will always be mindful of. But as you're growing, your toolbox is sharper.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you said, it never goes away. We all have triggers and, what did you call them? Cues?
Oh, cues, yeah.
But I like how you said you just write it down. Like it's like almost like your mind-body connection with just writing it down and thinking about it.
It gives it a sense of relief and release.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what it really is, it's called a
pause.
Yeah, because what...
I love pauses.
Yeah, right. So you have the cue, and it's very hard to pause when you're in that. Your body is in control. You have your frontal cortex, and you always want to be the CEO of your body, and that's where the frontal cortex is. But the lower brain, the lizard brain, if you will, wants you to eat, is there for survival, and they're always battling. So what the first step I really think you have to do is you have to say, I'm in charge. You have to start being in charge of your decisions and realizing that you're in a battle with your lower brain, wanting to always eat, wanting to survive, wanting to Netflix and chill, all those who maybe seek dopamine enhanced activities, wants relief right away. But you really have to just realize that if you have these goals, you have to function at a higher level and really intentional with, and I always say that you have to be the CEO of your brain.
Well, that makes perfect sense. So you have to just be mindful. And as you exercise that muscle, your brain.
Yeah, for sure. It is, yeah.
You are stronger in the sense that you don't have the same cues don't set you off. And if they do, it reminds you, okay, let's write that down.
This is I call it processing it.
Yeah.
You're processing it. And it's not always going to be the same thing. You're going to grow and process it different. Right now, that's really working for me. It might not work for me in 30 to 60 days, but I'm always seeking that solution.
And also, as you mature as well, your body's going to change. Your chemicals are going to change.
Right, I have new
programs
new
for more
programs,
people.
yeah.
So it was interesting how you mentioned about, I mean, we're approximately the same age. I know you're probably younger, but
I'll be younger. There's not much opportunity, so I will be. I don't know. I don't know.
But the whole clean your plate.
Uh-huh.
That's how we were raised.
Yeah.
I would literally take food off my plate and stuff it in my napkin. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
She already knew that though. But I would they'd have liver sometimes. And
Oh
I
gosh.
hated liver.
Oh, who doesn't? Yeah.
And
your parents were mean.
Oh, I know.
I'm just kidding.
And steak, and I love steak now.
Yeah.
I hated it then.
Oh, yeah.
I would chew it and put it in a napkin. I had a wad of napkins.
Yeah.
I'd be the last person at the dinner table. It was fun. But with that, now it's before you've got the pyramid, the food pyramid. The food pyramid's going to make us look like a pyramid, right? It's so out of balance. We need to do this.
Yeah.
But what I'm leading to is, what's your thought on intuitive eating as opposed to it's this time, it's 9 o'clock, I have to eat? Or do you do a combination of both?
So I think first we have to realize that eating is a learned behavior.
Yeah.
So we are not intuitive about eating, unlike a cat or a dog or an animal. So the only intuitive part of eating is breastfeeding. When you're a baby, you know how to latch on, or you at least learn how to latch on, or intuitively latch on. I don't know how they would say it. It's a learned behavior. So I was taught, like we said, to clean our plate. So you have to relearn that. And intuitively, so intuitive eating, I think it's good for some people, but someone like me who is so chaotic with food, I need structure.
Right.
And not restriction. My brain doesn't like restriction. My brain really has a hard time with restriction. And that is actually a reason, a biological reason. And we like to make sure that we are individuals and we have our own set of rules. And even those rules could really mess us up. So so intuitive eating, I think you need structure. I think you need practice. I think it's very difficult to intuitive eat here when we have an all you can eat buffet any point of any day, which is such a beautiful thing. We are our evolutionary caveman's biggest dream.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? Like we don't have to go today and look for water, or look for something to eat. So you have to learn how to live within your environment. And I don't think many people can do that intuitively. I count calories because my value system is based on the number of calories. I either in maintenance or in a deficit, there is a number of calories to maintain your weight. And when you're like me, who have restricted and binged and have no point of reference of what is too much. And I think at some point you have to think, what is enough? What is enough?
Exactly. And I think that's where setting those boundaries, using the numeric values to be a baseline for you. But as you're doing that, you're learning how your body responds to those foods.
Oh, yeah. For hunger.
Right.
Yes.
And energy when you're doing workout, pre-workout, post-workout.
Exactly. Really relearning how to eat.
Right.
Learning how to eat, teaching yourself how to eat.
And teaching your body how to respond.
Yeah, I thought that you were good at that, though. I did. You were a healthy lady, and I learned a lot from you. Yeah.
Thank you. I try, but I do have a sweet tooth, and then I know.
But that's fine. And we build that narrative. You're creating that dopamine dump because that sweet tooth is creating more or that narrative is creating more dopamine because it's the anticipation that creates the dopamine.
Yeah.
It's not the food. And that's fine to plan to eat a sweet treat. Like, it's a lovely thing to go find something that tastes really great.
Yeah.
But it's not when it intercedes with your goals in life. And you can have a donut, a bagel, and still meet your goals, especially when you're chasing strength.
Yep.
If you're chasing skinny and trying to beat the scale and see how low it can go, that's a very hard life to maintain. And it's not fun and it's not good for you.
It's, can I say this? A mind fuck.
Yeah.
It's just...
That's rough.
What I'm learning, and I think it goes across the board with all women, is it doesn't matter if it's 5 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds. Mentally, it's the same struggle.
Yeah, there's always a pursuit.
Right.
Pursuit, yeah.
And not to say one's not harder than the other or whatever, but it's the moment you pause. This is my favorite word, people. That you pause and really just kind of reel yourself back in and say, why am I doing this? Because I want to be healthy. I want to be self-sufficient. I want to be able to do normal things. I want to be able to grow older and feel grounded and
feel good.
Yeah.
Feeling good is the best reason not to eat something or to eat something. I tell my son that all the time. I'm like, forget about the calories, forget about anything. Will eating all of this make you feel good? And he's like, oh, it probably won't. And yeah, so that is a good reason to pursue that. And also, I think one of the most important things that I've learned is you don't have to love working out. You don't have to love walking. You don't have to love eating the foods, but you can love that eating more vegetables helps you with your appetite. You can love that walking helps you with your mental health.
Yes.
So find the thing that brings you, and remember that you don't have to love it. There's plenty of people who don't love exercise. The reason why I have nice shoulders is because I love lifting weights.
Right.
That's why. Fall in love with the process and you will get the result. You pursue and make it feel like harder than it is, and it will be. It's self-fulfilling prophecy.
And I truly believe that our body is listening. And when I get stressed out and I've got my cortisol levels are up and I'm feeling just fluffy and inflamed, and I stress out, and I'm like, no, don't stress out, because you're just making that go up even more.
Yeah.
And this is your body regulating. Something's off. You're stressed. You're not getting rest. I'm my own worst critic right now. But that's what happens. And then you remember, oh, okay, I can chill out. And what I really like about Jody's program is that delicious deficit. She encourages you to eat the things that you love to eat, but find new ways to pair them, or new ways to eat them, or new products that you can put together to make the same type of thing.
Substitutions. I mean, for me, like I said, I'm the hardest client. Like, my thing wasn't food. It was to figure out why I was binging and all the stuff I had to unpack. So for some people, it's as little, like one of my clients, Tracy, lost 50 pounds last year. And her issue is she eats a lot of very calorie dense food. She doesn't eat a lot of food. She doesn't binge, but she'll go to Starbucks and get a 400 calorie drink. So her thing was just really quantifying what she was eating similar to a budget. So she saw she was budgeting her money.
Right.
So an X amount of money per day, calories, and she could spend it. And then she started valuing the calories different based on what would make her full. And so it is a natural progression from, do I have to eat whole foods, to, I don't like being hungry. So I'm going to eat this chicken, and I'm going to eat these vegetables, and I'm going to make them in a way that is satisfying to me so that I can reach my goals, really.
It's perfect. And it's similar, kind of the bank balance idea is similar to like the Weight Watchers.
Oh, the points?
The point system.
Yeah.
So
the difference between that, I think, is that their point system is based on their point system. And the cool thing about calories is they are on every single food product that exists. A lot of restaurants, when I go to a restaurant, I say, I have 500 calories to spend. I can spend it on anything I want. There's just a level of structure that really helps me get to my goals. And yeah, the point system is one. And again, I do want to say this, that if something works, it works. Every single person is different, and nutrition for every single person is different. Their likes is different. Our culture is different. Our food is different. Right. And that's why it's so important to meet yourself where you're at, because you're going to be successful just changing small little things. Eating less sour cream, eating less cream in your coffee, things like that, instead of overhauling and eating things that you're not familiar with, that you have to go to some weirdo grocery store.
Market.
Oh my gosh, how many things do I have I don't anymore, that packages of this or that I used once because I subscribed to some meal plan that I totally failed at because I had no point of reference of how much food, what kind of food, did I even like it? So I think that's really the challenge for people is, and it is hard because you think it should be severe. You think it should be such an overhaul that you change your life, like by going to the grocery store. And that's just not how it is. You change your life through breakfast, lunch, dinner, and trying not to snack so much in between. And
Right.
I think maybe the biggest lie that the industry has told us is that it is difficult. Because when it's difficult, they can sell you something. Of
course.
And right now, it's rough because I lost my weight in 2020 or started to lose my weight and find my way in 2020. But right now, they're really pushing menopause and hormones and Ozempic, and which I think has a place. But I think I would have subscribed to all of that stuff and would never be where I'm at right now. And that is, I guess, as they say, the Roman Empire. That's the thing where they say, yeah, that'd be, it hurts my heart sometimes thinking like I got out. Like I got out, I escaped. And that is like such a rough thing to think that I could still be like struggling when I know so many women are. They're struggling every day trying to find something on the, I said, trying to get on the roller coaster. I don't even know if I wanted to lose weight more than I want to just get off. Think about it. Like you and I, 40s, late 40s. I'm late 40s. I'm 46, so I'm late 40s. How many years? Since 17? That's a long time to fail at something.
Yeah, and it's nonsense. Like we put way too much pressure on ourselves, and we know it's from the media and the fashion, and and it's our generation too, because it was all about the supermodels, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But and I love all of that, but I have a different perspective. Now I look in the mirror and say, oh, look at these little soft wrinkles.
Yeah.
Like I don't want them to get hard. You learn to love yourself.
Yeah.
And your body gives back.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I think that is something that you have achieved with your journey.
Yeah.
Is that you've had your struggles and you've shared that with us. And that has been such a gift, not only to you, but the other people that you have inspired. And stay tuned for more of this conversation. We will be right back after this important offering. When was the last time you looked at a photo of yourself and truly saw you, the real, authentic you? Have you forgotten the power, the beauty, the light that still lives within you? At Nichole Kathryn Studios, I create portraits that go beyond the surface, capturing your essence, your story, your soul. It's time to rediscover yourself. So let's make it happen. Book your photography session now at NicholeKathrynStudios.com or DM me on Instagram. You've been definitely inspired me. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think I always think of, you know, how my other Roman empires, how many years I failed and how that affected my life, how that affected my confidence, career, or school, or how many times I said no to something because of that. And I think that there's these women who are in their 20s and 30s and the 40s and 50s. I don't want someone to die still dieting and still struggling. Right. Like you can eat and feel good and find peace. And that to me is my reason, my why for being a weight loss coach. Like I said before, my test is my testament. I have to get out there and let people know that they can find peace with their body and with food. It just takes some effort. It's not a passive activity. It's not intuitive. I'm going to say it.
But I'm going to disagree just a little bit. It becomes intuitive as it is.
I think that's a phase.
Learned.
I think that's a phase, right? So I'm not always going to, so you're right. I'm not always going to count calories. I'm not always going to do macros. I'm not always going to make sure I have enough protein or know that I have 150. So you're correct. That is the end game, right? That is the maintenance part to it.
It's the muscle memory, and then your body responds in a certain way. So now, okay, you're doing X amount of calories in a day, and if you go over in excess, you're going to feel yucky.
I feel like you've been an intuitive eater for a long time. That you've really, I don't know, I'd be interested to know. That's part 2 or part 3 or part 5 of knowing your journey, because I feel like you have maintained your weight but still have this idea of wanting peace within acceptance.
Because we're all changing.
Yeah.
I was much smaller when I was younger, and I feel good. But the difference is I was skinny fat before. I didn't have the strength that I do now.
Yeah.
And now I'm athletic. I feel good. I feel
You
grounded.
look good. Yeah.
And if I get sick, I'm not going to keel over. And
I know. I fear that. Yeah.
So
We only have one kid each. That's all we got. We don't have backups. We don't have a lot of people to help us out. I have one cat, and I don't think that cat's going to help either.
opposable thumbs,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Jody, for being here and sharing your story. And
Yeah, thank you.
please check her out on Delicious Deficit on
Instagram and deliciousdeficit.com. Yeah, or jodychandler.com if you want to go that way. Yeah, but
And she's got so much more information, and it is so fascinating to me because she's educated herself not only by resources and books and all. She's the
Yeah.
real deal. She's done this herself, and it's amazing.
I
And
appreciate
you all
you. Thank you.
give
You're
her
a
a-
sweetheart. I appreciate you. I really do.
Yeah, I appreciate
You've always
you.
been such a sweetheart.
Thank
You're
you.
a kind person.
Thank you. So, thank you for joining us today. And I want you to stay tuned for the next episode. Jody Chandler, thank you for showing us what it means to walk through the fire of transformation with grace, grit, and so much heart. Your story is a reminder that the journey isn't about the numbers, except in the process. It's more about nourishment, intuition after the process, and basically finding a new relationship with ourselves. And if you all love this episode, be sure to follow Jody on Instagram at Delicious Deficit and learn more about her soulful approach to sustainable transformation. And if you're feeling inspired, take a moment to reflect. How might you speak more kindly to your own body today? We're all so hard on ourselves. Let's give ourselves a break and go check Jody out because she'll give you some insight and she'll let you eat those donuts. So again, as always, thank you for being part of this beautiful community. Until next time, keep listening, trusting, and keep the spark. Thank you so much for joining us today on the She Spark podcast. Remember to subscribe. It's even better if you click the share link and send to a friend. And if you found this episode inspiring or touched you in any way, please leave me a comment and review this podcast. Honestly, your support means the world to me. Thank you so much. This is Nichole Kathryn Smith reminding you to keep the spark.